Hi and welcome to Across the Desk. This week we're going to discuss some drama that happened down at the Oklahoma State Capitol, where a representative was censured for what happened during a protest a few days before, and how this reeks of hypocrisy, power grabbing, and silencing people, and just the overall cowardice of conservatism today. So I want to start off with, this is the 2-year anniversary of the Censure of Nathan Dom in the Senate. Oh wait, no, that really didn't happen, did it? But you know what happened 2 years ago? 2 years ago, on Fox, Nathan Dom gave an interview and said something about how good Kamala Harris would be at getting malt through a paper straw. And then after that, a big outrage happened, including with Republican women that were in the legislature here in Oklahoma, and sent the pro-tem, Greg Treat, a letter saying, hey man, something's got to be done. We don't want to do business this way. We need a safe place to work. And he goes, by God, there will be consequences. There was a big old headline of it in Non-Talk. There will be consequences. Well, what happened to those consequences? Well, I'll tell you what happened. Greg Treat, he went back into the bush like Homer Simpson does in that meme where you see he comes out real strong and he's like, yeah, I'm going to go hide. See, because what happened was he quickly found out he didn't have the power to do that. As the Senate leader, his own caucus would get up and actually walk out on him if he was to do it. He would look like a fool. He'd look like a weak leader. Because, see, telling lewd jokes about women and how they got ahead in life, those are conservative values. Those are. Because Greg Treat wouldn't hold Nathan Dom to account on them. No censure, no anything. Of course he couldn't, because why? His own Republicans in the Senate wouldn't let him, which tells you if his own Republicans in the Senate, you don't have a majority to vote in a censure of Nathan Dom for doing that, that tells you these are their values. So what happens is, since he finds out that Greg Treat has no teeth, Nathan Dom goes back out and doubles down. Talks about how good she must be, bent over, heels up, something like that. That's exactly what he said on his double down. No consequences, still to this day. And you know what? He gets a nice, cushy committee seat with a rules committee, a really high power committee that he sits on in the Senate. A rules seat where he gets to decide the rules of the Senate. This guy who should be censored himself and not on a committee seat gets to decide the rules. That tells you something, because here we are 2 years later and the House of Representatives censures Mauree Turner. Why? Did she break the law? No. Did she threaten a mayor in another city? No. Did she drive drunk for the second or third time and was looking at possible felony DUI? No. Didn't do any of that. They didn't do any of that. What did they do? Well, the Republicans are saying they harbored a fugitive and obstruct justice. But is that true? Is that really the case? Because honestly, when it comes to what happened, see, let's go back. So what happened was there was a protest. A few hundred people showed up to protest in support of trans rights, because several bills were going through the House of Representatives in the legislature attacking trans rights, attacking transvestites, attacking drag shows, attacking all that stuff that they consider wokeness that they're going after left and right. See, making the lives of fellow Americans harder. That seems to be a conservative value these days. So that's what they were doing. So people were there protesting. And what happened was there was an altercation. Someone threw water and then a bottle at a Republican representative, and a scuffle happened. Someone was arrested, and I guess another person ran into the office of Mauree Turner. Well, here we go. There's really no timelines to this. Why is there no timelines to this? Because there wasn't an investigation done before they decided to censure Mauree Turner and take away their committee assignments. There was no investigation done. There's nothing to look at. There's nothing to see. So, the amazing thing is, we have a person that went to Mauree Turner's office. And I suppose a state trooper showed up, asked to see this person. We need to apprehend this person, ask him questions. And Mauree's there, doesn't know what's going on. I don't know, who are you? What's going on? Why do you want to arrest this person? I don't know. I didn't see the altercation. I have no idea what's going on. And to let you know, at the end of all this person was apprehended. This person was questioned, and without incident. So saying that there was any kind of harboring a fugitive is a really big stretch. It absolutely is. But you see, conservatives, the GOP in Oklahoma, they're not concerned with really rule of law, justice, or equal play. Not at all. Absolutely not. See, they're interested in two things: power and control. And they do it however they can. Gerrymandering. Really bad. That's why we have 18 representatives that are Democrats in the legislature. That's what we got. It's really sad because several of our districts are 5 Democrats to 8 Republicans. Winning that, it's really hard to do if you're a Democrat. And they know it. That's why they set it up that way, because again, conservatives have to have the power and the control. After all, like Mo Brooks said, conservatives are ordained by their God to rule the destiny of the United States of America. See? And this is exactly what they believe. So they're justified in doing stuff like censuring Mauree Turner, who is black, Muslim, and identifies as a non-binary person. That's why I'm trying my best to use the pronoun they and them in this show. So here we go. Mauree Turner gets censured, gets their committee assignments pulled. They didn't really commit any crimes or do anything other than, hey, wait a minute, why do you want this person that's in my office? I don't know what's going on. Please tell me. Oh, and then you want to apprehend him and talk to him, and there's no incident or altercation or anything. It's all done really easy out of my office. Nothing happens, and yet they're going to censure this person. That's what they're doing. When you have all these other conservatives, these Republicans who have done so much worse. It reeks of hypocrisy. It reeks of conservative cowardice. If you know, I wrote a book, 10 Lessons of Conservative Cowardice. And lesson number 1 is the likes to dish it, just way too cowardly to take it. And that's exactly what we have in this instance. See, Stegall can go call the mayor of another town, threaten him, and get away with it with just, we talked about it, be okay. Mauree Turner can have someone in their office and go, oh, what? And they got taking your committee seats. Oh, and, we're censuring you. You have to apologize to the speaker because you hurt his feelings. Oh my gosh, I think that's the best part. The best part was, see, there's a resolution that went in from a guy from represents Clinton, Representative Moore, and the guy in such a cowardly way on the House floor. I can't believe they did this on the floor in front of everybody, national news. You've got to apologize to the speaker. Hurt his feelings so bad. Oh my gosh, this hurt his feelings so bad. You've got to apologize to him. Oh, and if you don't, well then, we're going to throw the books at you. You see, so that tells you right there, this is about control. This is about power. It's about subjugating someone. No, you got to be subjugated. You got to know who's in charge and who's got the power, and we're going to make sure you know about it. You see, because since the second day of Mauree Turner's tenure at the legislature, they've been harassed, they've been attacked, and they have been threatened. You see, this is what goes on. Republicans, the conservatives, they will never mention that. They're never going to. So this is what we have here in Oklahoma with our legislature. This is what we have with the wonderful Chuck McCall and his speakership. Such a coward, the way he handled this. You're going to just talk to Jay Stegall, but yet you're going to take all the committee assignments away from Mauree Turner when she didn't do anything. When they didn't do anything. They didn't. They didn't do nothing. They did anything except maybe ask, hey, what's going on? That's it. And you get this because, one, hey, there was never an investigation done. How could they censure someone? How could they take their committee seats away when they haven't even done an investigation into it. No investigation, nothing at all. Just, oh, hey, you got them in their office? They were in their office when you found them? Oh, well, they must have been harboring a criminal. So there you go. Pull everything from them. It's a power move. Pure and freaking simple. That's what it is. When you have so much corruption over here on the right, you have so much here in Oklahoma, so much corruption from Ryan Walters and his class wallet scheme in the millions of dollars, from Kevin Stitt and, hey, you know what, the other $30 million of education budget, we don't know what happened. There's so much of it. So much white-collar crime going on within the legislature itself, where the guy is double dealing with his wife in the tag agency. What happened with that? That guy was never censured either. Nothing, zero, nada. Which we get with Senator Nathan Dom as well. Nothing, zero. There's nothing there. They haven't done anything to their own people, but they're ready to throw the book at a Democrat. So much if they look at somebody the wrong way. This is cowardice to the max, because it's hypocrisy. It's telling everyone that conservatives can dish it. Oh my gosh, can they dish it? But when it comes to taking it, they're so horrible at it. They're way too fragile to be able to take it. And it's exactly what we're seeing right here with this censure. It's exactly what we're seeing with the overboard way they've taken all the committee assignments away from this person. It's exactly what they've done. An apology to the speaker. You have to apologize to the speaker. You got to give him an apology. Well, you know what they did? The Democrats did come out and they did a conference. And Munson, who is the minority leader, who wasn't identified. I mean, this is the whole thing about this. Check this out. So, when it comes down to telling the Democrats about the censure, they told them like an hour and a half, 2 hours before they did it on the House floor. That's the only time they got. That's the only thing they did. They told the minority leader, Cindy Munson, hey, we're going to pull this resolution to censor Mauree Turner. Not saying anything else about it. Oh, and of course, they never told Mauree Turner about it. They never called Mauree Turner. They never emailed Mauree Turner. They never even asked Mauree Turner a question. They just went ahead and made a resolution, had it presented by the Republican Representative Moore from Clinton, Oklahoma, and had him give a big crying speech there on the floor of the House on how they need to pull the assignments away, need to apologize to law enforcement and the rule of law, which exactly isn't what conservatives are for. They don't want the rule of law. Not for themselves. Are you kidding me? They want two sets of laws. They really want to go back to a feudal system, which we had before, you know? Not we, but over in Europe they had, where the upper classes had a different set of laws and rules that they were governed by. Yeah, absolutely, right? How would you like that? This is what conservatives want here in this state. How do you like that? They want a set of rules and laws for themselves and their people, and a set of rules and laws for everybody else, you see. That's how they want it. And it's just absolutely un-American. It totally goes against anything American I can think of. It's absolutely not a republic. It's a perversion of one. And it's exactly what conservatives want in this state. It's exactly what they're doing. So being able, and you can see this when they don't tell a Democrat. They don't tell anybody. Even the person that's the subject of all of this, they don't even say anything to, and they barely tell the minority leader that, hey, we're going to pass this resolution, you might want to be there. And so, of course, all the Democrats voted no against it, and they put out a press conference. They had a press conference, and where they did say, hey, this is a railroad job. This is absolutely a power grab, and even one of the representatives went so far as to say this is absolutely a cowardly act. It is. Charles McCall, Mr. Moore, you guys are cowards. You are. You're absolute cowards for doing this. I hope you get so many emails from people just across the nation saying, hey man, what a bonehead move. I know you're going to get your hardline far-right people who are just out to harm the libs and own the lib in any way they can, even if it is, you know, taking away their constitutional rights or their civil rights or anything else. They don't care about that. They don't think that we're real Americans anyway. So how would we have any rights or constitutional freedoms, right? That's how they justify this. Through the 6 degrees of conservative cowardice, really, where they can, by way of the long way around, they can come up with, oh, hey, you're not a real American anyway, so you don't have rights or protection of law, so we get the chance to abuse you. See, we're going to pass this law anyway that says we can. And that's exactly what they did in the legislature. That's exactly why there was a protest. That's exactly why there was a bottle thrown. And that's exactly why they wanted to question people, and that's exactly why all this happened. Now, before I end this, I want to say one point. There's something to be learned in all of this. And that is, one, violence doesn't work. When you protest, especially at the Capitol, and not in a protest, it doesn't work. Chaos, violence, all of that doesn't work. It does so many things. It takes committee seats away from people. That's not a direct. Now, that's not a direct consequence. I look at that as a side consequence. It's an uncontrolled consequence to Mauree Turner that this person decided to go to their office after all of this, and that the police wanted to question them from there. See, there's nothing here. There's no investigation to tell you any timelines, right? So you don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. But that's how conservatives like it. They like it vague. If they can keep it vague, then they can pivot and be mobile around stuff. And they can mold it to how they want. The vaguer they keep it. They've learned this in the last couple of years, people. They've been using it over and over. Woke. Such a vague term. We know what woke means. You can look it up and say, oh, civil rights era. People being aware of the systemic racism that's happened. But that's not what conservatives are doing today. They're using woke to say, oh, well, if you support trans rights, then you're woke. If you support anything that is in the Democrat agenda, then you're woke. If you're a liberal, you're woke. See, because that's what wokeness is to these people. It's liberalism. It's being a Democrat. It's the Democratic planes. It's the Democratic platform. That's all wokeness. You see, and this is what they want to eradicate. Just like they said, we want to eradicate the liberals. It's exactly what they're basically saying when they say we want to eradicate wokeness. See, they want to control you. They want to control what you say. They want to control what you wear, obviously, how you appear. They want to control what you do. They want to control who you love, who you marry. They want to control what you read. They want to control what you think, your ideology. They want to control all that, who you pray to. It's exactly what white Christian nationalism is all about, making sure you are ruled by Christians. That is absolutely the point of Mo Brooks when he said, it is the destiny of conservatives. It's ordained by God that conservatives control the destiny of the United States of America. That is white Christian nationalism. That's what this all comes down to. It comes down to a person of a different faith, a different race, who identifies as they, them, in a binary way. That's what this is about. It's exactly what this is all about. It's about controlling that person and showing these people's base, whoever these hillbillies are, that we can control these people, we can make them suffer. That's basically it. That's basically the whole deal. That's basically the whole story right here. Well, we'll see you next week.